Banking in Australia is getting a shake-up with money for Afterpay launching here, the buy now, pay later giant expanding its services. It's 3.6 million users now able to access savings accounts, debit cards and possibly even a mortgage. David Sharpe, our finance expert from Globe Financial Planning, is with us now. Hi Sharpe.
Hi Monica.
Do we approach this one with caution?
Yeah, look, a fair dose of caution and scepticism, but also acknowledgement that there is a wave of innovation coming in the personal banking space. Let's talk about the caution first, and this is an app from a company that is targeting millennials and Gen Zs, those for whom the digital world is pretty native and natural. But this is also a company that's involved in a $39 billion merger on the back of encouraging that cohort to spend money they don't have on things they don't need. So, the grumpy financial planner in me says that's not necessarily the greatest way to build wealth, because we know that's done by spending less than you earn. Putting the grumpy side to the side, we are seeing a wave of innovation coming, and not just from Afterpay. Commonwealth Bank is spending a significant amount of money on their own ecosystem. There's a European bank come over here called Revolut. There's a number of neobanks. So we're absolutely seeing this wave of innovation, and that ultimately can only be a good thing.
All right. Sharpe, what exactly is this new platform?
Yeah, look, Afterpay has certainly built their name on the back of buy now, pay later. But what they're trying to do is broaden their reach into the more traditional banking space. As you mentioned at the top, bank accounts, but short-term lending, even potentially mortgages into the future. But think of it a bit like Uber. Uber doesn't own any vehicles, but they're still a transport company, right? They're a technology that brings the suppliers and the customers together. So the same here with this Afterpay app. They're not the ones actually providing the banking. It's going to be Westpac doing the sort of dovetailing into the back of their technology. So they'll provide some of the services, and they'll have other suppliers provide them as well. So it's like a marketplace to have all your money in one space.
So is this the beginning of the evolution of financial lending? I mean, will services like Money for Afterpay make the market more competitive?
Well, look, it's important to acknowledge that we already have an extraordinarily competitive marketplace when it comes to lending and banking already. So I don't necessarily add competition, but what I'll do is make it easier to take advantage of that competition. So if you want to switch potentially from one bank to another in the future, it might become a lot easier with a lot less paperwork. What I would say is be aware, though, that you might be giving this app or other apps complete access to how you're spending your money, and that could have an impact on how you may or may not be able to get loans in the future. So I wouldn't necessarily be handing over my financial world to a company who's building their profits on the back of encouraging people to spend money that they don't have.
Finally today, Sharpe, tell us your tips.
Okay, so firstly, it's probably the third time I mentioned it, don't spend money you don't have. If it's a luxury item, make sure you're saving up before you buy it. Convenience often comes at a cost, so with these apps or other ways, there's often can be sneaky fees you got to watch out for. And lastly, take advantage of an already competitive marketplace, particularly with mortgages. I know you're going to talk about it later, but potentially thousands of dollars a year just by putting in a few hours work.
Grumpy Sharpe, until next time.
Thanks, Monica.